Good evening and a very warm welcome to your news package with Television Tonga. Making headlines, His Majesty King Debo VI officially opens the hall for Kalofa'o Free Wesleyan Church and named it Kalofiama of Epworth. Former Bishop of the Roman Catholic Church, Soani Lilofoliaki SM, passed away at the age of 80, and Youth of Waimato celebrates Christmas. These and more stories later on in this bulletin, together with the latest news from around the region, sports and the latest weather. On the news in details, His Majesty King Debo VI officially opens the Free Wesleyan Church of Kalofa'o yesterday. The 144 feet long and 80 feet width building is located at the Kings Road or Halatui opposite Lotomongawe Tongangava Club. His Majesty King Debo VI named the new hall the Kalofiama of Epworth. In his address, he wishes that the 1.6 million Paanga Hall will be a place that will bring to light God's will. I acknowledge the presence of God in our midst and allow me to use the same salutation earlier conveyed. I wish to thank you for your major commitment and achievement today. We are all aware of the current economic situation globally, but in Tonga, this is quite a busy month with opening of new buildings of the Free Wesleyan Church. I'm glad at where this project has reached and achieved by members of the Church of Kalofa'o and abroad. I wish to name this church hall as the Kalofiama of Epworth, known internationally as the hometown of the Wesley family. Two of the renowned men and founders of the Wesleyan and Methodist Church grew up in Epworth. John Wesley was renowned for his sermons, teaching, and as a theologian, while Charles Wesley was a hymnist. Their original family house still stands since the 17th century and has since become a historical museum for the followers of Wesleyan and Methodism by the name of Epworth. In 1709, their house got burned while John Wesley was 5.5 years old. Rescuers managed to free him from the first floor through a window. His mother Susan gave him the nickname of a piece of rot that was rescued from the fire. Kalofiama is a small charcoal or fire sparked or emitted from the main light to ignite a bigger light or fire in another place. The hometown and the foundation of the Wesley family's house at Epworth was where the godly light of Methodism was conceived. It was there where the spark of light of John Wesley originated from to enlighten this world, with the Bible focusing on the theme, Evangelism is this world's ministry and commitment. I wish to remind the congregation of Kalofa'o the godly sparks of light that brighten up Great Britain, even reaching Tonga from John Wesley, and we should commit to it. He increasingly took great interest in justice in many areas like liberating black people from slavery, improving the livelihood of disadvantaged people from slavery and freedom from poverty. John Wesley built a hospital for the poor, increased employment for the unemployed, and for the Wesleyan community to share food and clothing and for everyone to enjoy opportunities in education. I hope that this meeting hall would be a place where sparks of godly light would emit from to brighten up another place. Lord Wai'a responded to the address from His Majesty, saying, the name Kalofiama of Epworth Hall is a blessing for the church members. It will also remind them of John Wesley and the importance of leaving his legacy. The completion of the work was a joyful occasion for the members as it leaves them no debt to pay despite it worth more than 1 million Paanga. The church members also conducted their church annual offerings yesterday, where Kolomatua collected 229,000 Paanga with a surplus of 76,000 Paanga, while Kalofa'o collected 364,000 Paanga with a surplus of more than 280,000 Paanga. Amongst many guests are the diplomatic corps and others. The former bishop of the Roman Catholic Church, Soane Lilofoliaki SM, passed away at the age of 80. He died on December 24th at the residence of Kainga Fo'o in Maloloa. Information from Father Selwinia Kaola says the proceeding will start at Kainga Fo'o residence around 5 p.m. on Monday, December 30th, before the farewell mass to be conducted at the Malia Tupui Makulata Cathedral at Maofanga. He was then laid to rest at the Galivalio Cemetery. Soanelilo Foliaki was a former bishop for Tonga Niue, for the Diocese of Tonga Niue from 1994 to 2008, before resigning in an old age. An inmate's mother has lost her opportunity for a Christmas break with family after abusing the social network during a weekend break from Hototoli prison. Kalisto Yonuku tells you more.
Dafolosa Broomfield lost her chance to visit her family once a month after being allegedly abusing social networks such as Facebook. The prison commissioner, Sione Falemanu, says a complaint was lodged to prison relates to releasing the suspect out of prison due to seriousness of the crime she committed. The complaint was from the lawyer of the Forum Travel in which Air New Zealand is operating under. The same complaint also questioned the opportunity the decision made by the prison commissioner as it contradicted the judge's ruling. The concern was also related to comment made by Mrs. Broomfield on her Facebook status. The mother was convicted for embezzlement of more than 200,000 pa'anga while working as a senior travel consultant at the Forum Travel. Commissioner Falemanu says it is a legal procedure to release Broomfield for a break from Huatolitoli under the circumstances of that individual's good behavior and trustworthiness. He adds the complaint made to him caused the suspension of Broomfield's leave from prison. We had a group of inmates divided for Christmas and New Year's break. Broomfield was on the Christmas break list but has been cancelled. I've informed the inmate of the matter by reading her some of the submission bring forth by the lawyer of the other party. Her suspension from this opportunity will be until notice. The prison commissioner, Sione Falemanu.
The Cabinet has approved for a new vessel to ship agricultural produce to the foreign market. Currently, the government is yet to determine its cost and other details of the vessel. This has been a problem faced by local farmers due to many crops and market, but with no shipment. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries and Food, Honourable Sengsta Saulala, says this has been a solution to problems they've faced in the past years. The new vessel will ship local fruits and crops straight to the markets, including Samoa and Fiji, instead of going through New Zealand. This will also reduce problematic produce when reaching the market. The Honourable Minister says this is among many donations the government made towards the agricultural sector. Other previous donations include the 1 million Pa'anga Agricultural Marketing Fund and others. This is part of the government's initiative to ensure that agricultural sector retains its priority of generating income to the locals. Meanwhile, they're also reviewing deal with a new market in India. The youth of the Waimato Free Wesleyan Church carried out a march around the town and action songs to celebrate Christmas. Kalisto Yonuku with more.
The Free Wesleyan Church youth and Sunday school children in high spirit of Christmas marching around the town led by Tupo High School Brass Band. They also carried out action songs and skits. Christmas gift and present were given to them. Also in full support of the program were church members and parents. The program ended with the celebration of the youth and parents. At the same time, similar programs were carried out by other churches in Tonga to mark this very special day. Reporting for Television Tonga News, I'm Galisi Duernuku.
And that's the local news. Pacific is up next. From around the region, more than 20 families are receiving emergency help after more than 90 houses were burnt down and crops destroyed at Sing Village in Papua New Guinea's Port Bougainville last Friday. New Dawn FM reports the houses were burnt down in retaliation after a man from the Solos area of Bait constituency on Boga Island was killed, allegedly by youth from nearby Sing village. The Post-Courier says the three houses that were not torched had all their possessions taken. It also reports that the arsonist mistakenly destroyed coconut plantations owned by relatives of the dead men. In New Caledonia, bank charges will fall significantly from next month under an agreement signed this week between the sector and the territory's High Commissioner Jean-Jacques Prot. Bank charges in New Caledonia on average are 34% higher than in France. Earlier this year, the prices of a number of consumer goods were cut in line with an agreement following a 12-day general strike against the high cost of living. And that's the Pacific News. Sport is up next with Pierre Ollier.
In sport, the Lavengamali Cup tournament is moving closer to an end of winning the 35,000 pa'anga of first prize for Division 1. Although teams are widely obtaining their chance to claim the first prize, which teams are not completed their round robin. Yesterday at Te Whaiwa Park, the Vikings from Whasamaofanga lost to Waini Downs with a score of 19-13, which means they both lost one game. In the final match of the day, the Tolo Outpost was too strong for the Kolomoa Warriors and beat them with a score of 34-0. The Warriors lost their home ground to the strong side and the stronger side from the Golden Forest. In the meantime, the Rising Star 17-year-old scrum half for the Maris Up4O parted this year on a show of his talent at the clash with the Tonga defense team. The former champion of Te Whaiwa Park hammered the Golden Arrow with a score of 64-0. However, in the curtain race of the day, the Lavengamali teams from New Zealand inked their first win of the tournament by beating the Yankans from Hifo with a score of 36-6. There are 7 teams that have booked their seat for the second division quarterfinal, including Ho4, Fulaha Supo Taufa'ahau, Haviluloto, Veitongo Haviluriku, and Maris Up4O. Meanwhile, the rest of the results will be given after the games at the weekend. Former Wallabies wing Wendell Sailor is backing Israel Folau to be the greatest tour international of the professional era. Sailor, who, like Folau, also represented Australia in Rugby League, believes England's 2003 Rugby World Cup winning wing, Jason Robinson, and Sydney Roosters stalwart Sonny Bill Williams, who hosted the Webb Ellis Cup with New Zealand in 2011, presently share the mantle. But after watching Folau equal Lote Tukiri's all-time record for scoring the most tries for Australia in a calendar year during a superb 15th debut season, Sailor thinks the Waratahs utility back will have emulated Robinson and Williams by the end of their career. Tukiri Seda and fellow Rugby League convert Matt Roaches represented the Wallabies in 149 tests and amazed 57 tries by Sailor. Feels 24-year-old Folau has already eclipsed all their 3 as Australia's leading tour international. Folau is a younger player at 18 to represent Australia in a Rugby League test and scored on debut for the Kangaroos and the Wallabies. With the holiday season in progress, Flying Fijians coach Inoke Male is hoping his Pacific Rugby Cup squad members maintain their fitness level. Players were put through a fitness test last week and Male was relatively happy with the outcome. However, the former national skipper says there is still a lot of work to be done. The Fiji Warriors are the defending champions of the Pacific Rugby Cup and will face competition from teams Samoa, Japan, Tonga, Argentina, and Australia Super Rugby franchises. And Samoan international winger Sinoti Sinoti yesterday signed for English Premiership side Newcastle Falcons for the rest of the season and sees him reunited with one of his former coaches, Peter Russell. The 28-year-old, who could make his debut with the Premiership match with Sale on January 3rd, played under Russell at New Zealand outfit Hawke's Bay, one of several clubs he has appeared for. Aside from them, he has played for Toulon and Castres in the top 14 and Italian sides Aironi and Sempre, as well as lately New Zealand outfit Wellington. Falcons Director of Rugby, Dean Richard, was delighted of succeeding in signing Sinoti. And that's sports news.
And looking at the latest weather bulletin issued from Whamotu, situation and active trough of low pressure lies associated lies slow moving to the north of Tonga. Associated clouds and showers are likely to affect parts of the group in the next few days. Meanwhile, an east to southeast wind flow prevails over the group and forecast of night tomorrow for Tonga. Moderate east to southeast winds, mostly cloudy with some showers over the Tapu and Ewa, easing today. Elsewhere, cloudy periods with brief showers and temperature forecast for Nuku'alofa, minimum of 23 degrees Celsius for tonight. Marine weather bulletin for Tonga, forecast to midnight tomorrow for all Tonga coastal waters, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots up to 25 knots about Teleki, Tonga and Teleki Tokelau coastal waters. Moderate to rough seas with moderate southeast swells. The tide predictions, low tide will be at 9 o'clock tonight. And as the latest weather, wrapping up this evening's news package with Television Tonga. But before we part, here's a final look at today's top stories. His Majesty King Double VI officially opens the hall for Kalafa'o Free Wesleyan Church and named it Kalafiama of Apworth. Former Bishop of the Roman Catholic Church, Soane Lilo Foliaki SM, passed away at the age of 80, and Youth of Whamotu celebrates Christmas. And that wraps up this evening's news package. For more details of these news items, do call us on 23556, or you can join us on our Facebook page, Radio Television Tonga. I'm Fatai Whainga'a. Good evening.